Unacademy. Let's crack it.
मैंने बीटेक किया था in 2010. I started BTech, and before that I was school captain. And there's a reason I'm telling you all this, because some of it will carry forward into your interview stages as well. So I got some taste of leadership in as school captain when I was much younger. Then 2010 I went for my BTech, and I got the chance to co-found a green cell. And at the green cell, what I did is I also went to, this took me to Saryu river. You must be studying geography, अगर सरयू नदी का पता होगा, in Ayodhya. ठीक है, I went to Ayodhya and I saw freshwater gangetic dolphins. So there has been, I think there's been a PYQ on this. Freshwater gangetic dolphins मिलती हैं सरयू नदी में. All right. I worked for the conservation of this beautiful river, and I realized that I love public policy. Right. मुझे public policy बहुत interesting लगी, despite the fact that I was an engineer. Great, Ashutosh. You were a PRO. Very, very interesting. Okay. So what I did then is I went and pursued a master's in public policy to learn more. And I did this at Georgetown in Washington, D.C. I consulted for New York City Department of Education at this time for some time. This is the Department of Education. So I also understood how bureaucracy works. Mera optional public administration hai. So I understood that bureaucracy can be similar across countries, and there can be some differences as well. So that was fun. I decide to come back, and I land back in 2014 June. Okay? I land back in 2014 June, and prelims is in August. Okay? And for some reason I was overconfident कि because I'm a master's in public policy तो UPSC तो मेरा निकल जाएगा. But UPSC ने बताया कि नहीं भाई, you need to respect competition better and पढ़ के आओ, अच्छे से पढ़ के आओ, right? So I studied, and then what happened is in my first serious attempt and my second attempt in 2017, I wrote mains. Mains clear nahi hua. Then 2018, I founded my NGO in Ayodhya. And this is dedicated to environment. So a lot of my work has been on environment and sustainable development. I failed prelims here. I failed prelims of 2019 again. So prelims का ना curse चल रहा था मेरे ऊपर. 2020 and 21, my NGO was the nodal NGO of Ayodhya under Niti Aayog. So we were working with Niti Aayog for nodal NGO for COVID-19 relief. So we did that work. Ultimately, 2022 prelims, I failed again. And 2023 prelims, here I am with AIR 29. Why are we even discussing this? Is because my goal is to help you save your attempts. This is a very, very important topic for my heart. It took me 6 attempts to learn these mistakes. I don't want you to need so many attempts, and I really want to save your years, your valuable years, right? And so let's basically try to make what I ultimately want for you is to have resilience in your UPSC journey, regardless of the outcome. That doesn't matter. You are already very brave for attempting this attempt, for giving this exam. So we'll be doing 2 things. We'll be learning from the mistakes, and we'll also be building our mental health so that on 16th of June or next year when you give your prelims, you are able to truly go there with a confident mindset and are not scared. All right, that's my ultimate goal.
लेकिन दोस्तों, इससे पहले हम वीडियो में आगे बढ़े, मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूं कि अनअकैडमी ने अपनी प्राइसेस बहुत ज़्यादा रिड्यूस कर दी हैं। दोस्तों, अनअकैडमी का 15 मंथ यूपीएससी सीएससी सब्सक्रिप्शन अब मात्र 29,999 रुपए में अवेलेबल है, विच नॉट ओनली कवर्स प्रीलिम्स बट ऑल्सो हेल्प्स यू प्रिपेयर फॉर द मेंस एग्जामिनेशन। इसमें आपको मिलेगा अनलिमिटेड एक्सेस टू बैचेस, कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव स्टडी मटीरियल, 1-on-1 मेंटरशिप और प्री और मेंस की टेस्ट सीरीज भी। तो दोस्तों, देर मत करिए, बिकॉज दिस इज द लोएस्ट प्राइसिंग यू विल गेट फॉर सच अ प्रीमियम कोर्स। इस कोर्स को सब्सक्राइब करने के लिंक्स डिस्क्रिप्शन में है, तो अभी जाइए और सब्सक्राइब करिए। और चलिए अब वीडियो पर वापस आते हैं।
This is my note of transparency to you. Your journey and your background is unique, and you have unique strengths. I want you to be confident in that. Don't glorify any topper's background or journey, including mine. ठीक है? मैंने 6 attempts इसीलिए दे पाई. The only reason I could afford to give 6 attempts is because my family was able to support me. I was privileged. यहाँ पे ना luck and privilege की बात होती है, and ये बहुत true है. I was not earning money for my families, and they didn't depend on it. A lot of aspirants will be earning resources and income for their family, and you are brave for doing that. ठीक है? तो किसी का भी 6 अटेम्प्ट ग्लोरीफाई नहीं करेंगे. We will try to really ensure that जल्दी हो, आपका साल और अटेम्प्ट वेस्ट ना हो. What I want you to do is to be kind to yourself. You are your greatest friend in this journey and you have to be kind to yourself because दुनिया है आपको सुनाने के लिए, ठीक है? तो kindness खुद को दिखानी है. Having said that, these are the mistakes that I wish I knew when I was 24 years old and I was giving my first prelims, ठीक है? Let's go through the mistakes one by one. Mistake number 1 was I gave prelims just to get a feel for the exam. My first attempt, I did it just to try it out. Second mistake was I overcomplicated my strategy and my resources. Third mistake was if you are not mains ready before prelims, and a lot of you are 2025 candidates, which makes me very happy because we will ensure that you get mains ready before prelims. All right. The next one is with prelims. And if there are any candidates who are, Ashwika, you can relate with the first point. Yeah, that's good. So if there are any candidates who are giving prelim in 2024, I mean, I'm a little sad to connect with all of you so late, but there's still time. With 2024, I want you to have immense confidence and faith that you can apply common sense and logical estimations and your life's knowledge in prelims. So there will be factoids that you won't know. There'll be very exotic and difficult factoids, but trust me, you can apply common sense and solve some of them with logical estimation, and we'll talk about this with examples. Okay, we'll discuss PYQs and we'll talk about it with examples. The fifth thing is a mistake that if you change your strategy last minute. So if there's anyone who's giving prelims in 2024, is there anyone who's giving prelim in June, on 16th of June? You can just send a yes. If anyone's giving prelims on 16th, Omkar, you're giving, great. Ashutosh and Omkar, all right. So, and for anyone who's giving 2025, all the aspirants for 2025, this will apply to you as well. When June 2025 comes, I don't want you to change your strategy last minute. I want you to have faith in your strategy. Because 1 saal, you have worked hard, all right? The last one is most important, which is neglecting your mental health. We will discuss all of this. But today, what I want you to take away is some very important promises to your future self, right? When you are, let's say 3 or 4 years down the line, you will be proud that you made these promises and we'll make them. So keep a pen and paper handy and write these promises to yourself, which you can keep looking back at. Jab bhi you feel disappointed, you will look at that promise, okay? All right. First thing, just to give prelims for a feel of the exam, I think Ashwika said she could relate with this. My mistake was that I landed in June 2016, like I mentioned earlier, and I gave prelims in August, right? So I just had this much time and I was overconfident. Why is this bad? The first reason is that in your first attempt, now this is for all of my fellow aspirants who will be giving attempts in 2025, your first attempt is when you have the highest energy, the highest confidence. I mean, let me know all of the aspirants who are here in 2025 attempt, you must be feeling very confident. Or you must just be feeling high energy. I know you'll be scared, doubts honge, but I promise you that this is the highest confidence you'll feel. Or let me assure you, this is the highest energy that you have right now. Even second attempt for that matter. Okay? You guys have good energy. So why waste it just for the feel of the exam? Hai na? Second thing is mental health. Even though I failed prelims and I knew that I hadn't actually given 1 year to preparation, even 1.5 years, I didn't do that. I gave barely 2-3 months. I still felt bad for failing, right? So it does affect your mental health and I don't want you to go through this. How do you avoid this mistake? All of you, you will give 1 to 1.5 years, which is what you are doing. Also, you can take the feel of the exam through PYQs and prelims day simulation and mocks. So the first promise I want you to do, and you can write this down, is when 17th June hits, I want you to solve the PYQ, even though you're not prepared. That's okay. कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. आप 17th June को 9:30 to 11:30 sit down and do a simulation, right? Take it as a fun exercise and promise me that you won't stress out about it because we're not prepared. It's fine. But what you're doing is something you'll be thankful for 2-3 years down the line that you did this. Why? Because You gave yourself a very brave opportunity to attempt prelims without preparation. And अभी थोड़ी बार preparation भी होगी, है ना? तो ये करना है, ठीक है? ये promise लिख लिया सबने? Just let me know in the chat. What is it? You will sit down on 17th of June. 16th of June को paper आ जाएगा. 17th को June 9:30 to 11:30 you will do your GS simulation, and you will just, even the marks won't matter. You will just test one thing. What will you test? Just let me erase this. This is important actually. I don't want you to stress over your performance when you do this. What you will test is one very simple concept. You will test how much or whether you were able to solve the paper. Solve the paper with the minimum knowledge that you have right now. Right? Because you're just starting off. Minimum knowledge, say, did you enjoy the paper and were you able to solve even part of it? Even 2, 3, 5 questions, 6 questions, doesn't matter. Were you able to do it? Why? Because there was a role of common sense and logic here, and your life's accumulated this experience. So I want you to test that. Does that make sense? All right, we'll move to the next. If anyone doesn't have any doubt, we'll move to the next one. Next mistake, okay? Great. So 17 June, we have a promise. We will simulate the exam. Yes, that's great. It's good. It's good. It's in your bucket list. All right. Now, next is overcomplicating your strategy. What I did is, I just told myself that NCRT is very basic. In my first few attempts, I said that NCRT is basic. So I will run behind advanced sources. और difficult पढ़ेंगे तो और अच्छा performance होगा. That was my mistake. So advanced sources, I ran behind that. And this was a problem. Is anyone here, and don't feel shy about it, but is anyone neglecting the NCRTs right now? Okay, ask yourself this question. Never ever. Good. Ashutosh, that's a good. Okay. Okay, Dinesh, that's very honest of you and that's very brave. I think Dinesh ka bhi first, 2025 is your first attempt, right? Dinesh, we'll start with NCRTs. Okay, so this is one mistake you won't make like I made it. Do your NCRTs and you'll get the resource list. I'll put it on my channel, and start with that. Why? Because there are two things that NCRT helps you with, and I want to really convince you why NCRTs is important. If you think of India, if you think of our country, right? The thing with our country is that UPSC has to cater to our entire country, right? And it has to make a level playing field. What is the most accessible, free of cost source that students have available to them? That's NCRT. So, and PYQs are showing that NCRTs is helping. That is the other evidence. So what you need to do is, when you read your NCRT, you need to see indications on what is important, because there will also be clutter in the NCRT. Thoda bahut clutter rahega, not so much. But when you read it, you will know what is important for UPSC. The other thing is that NCRT will ensure that you don't chase factoids, but you work on concepts. Conceptual clarity works with NCRT. You build conceptual clarity. So that is one thing. The other thing that you have to do is, so we've discussed NCRTs and foundational sources, but before that, there's another very important foundational source, which is syllabus and PYQ. And I will actually give you examples next. We will discuss very important examples. Why PYQs are important. Okay? PubAd ka we will discuss later, because I'm sure there'll be other people with other optionals as well. Now, let me try to zoom this. You know, its quality thodi si kharab ho gayi hai, but we will try to make it work. What I'm trying to show you is why PYQs are important. Is there anyone who has not seen PYQ for any topic till now? I'm going to show you why this is important. Okay, this is 2023 question 32. You can write it down and then research for it yourself as well. And then 2021 ka question tha, question 83. So you can write these two questions. I hope you're able to read this. Statement 1 said, prisons in India are managed by, one second, I'm not able to annotate. Ek minute. Prisons in India are managed by state government with their own rules and regulations for the day-to-day administration of prisons, right? Now in 2021, there was a statement that said, state governments have their own prisoners release on parole rules, right? And they have their own rules for it. So somewhere in your head when you would be, now imagine that you had done your PYQ in 2021 and like me you appeared for 2023. Let's just imagine that. Trust me, you would have so much confidence in answering this question because that's what happened with me. I had a very solid grasp on my PYQs because my mentors really guided me that you have to focus on PYQs. So I was very confident in this question. ठीक है, ये वाला question logic से भी solve होता है. We can discuss this later. I can discuss it on my channel, but there's logic for this question. Or I'll come back to it when we discuss logic. I'll come back to this example. Just remind me to do that. Stateless. Yash is saying stateless, but just imagine like Yash, unlike Ashutosh is saying like Bihar did in Anand Mohan case. Very true. So again, like this is life's accumulated knowledge. You don't have to know this fact, right? So PYQs basically help. This was my little evidence-based example for you. And you can go and look up these questions. Now, again, more examples from our 2023 prelims. One second. Yes. All right. So हम पहले इसे chronology के हिसाब से start करेंगे. Now, you see the 2022 question. Now, the earlier one was more fact-based. It was a factual repetition of sorts. You can even say conceptual because they were not repeating the exact fact, but the concept was there. In 2022, what they asked is, now what I want you to notice here is patterns in what to study. We're not looking at factual or conceptual repetitions, but more about UPSC telling you what you have to study. Rapid financing instrument and rapid credit facility are related to provisions of lending by which of the following? Does anyone want to try this? I can launch a poll. ये कर लेते हैं actually. Let's just practice it, even if you don't know it. Correct answer भी मैं कर ही देती हूँ. एक मिनट. Where is it? ठीक है. ये try करें. Try not to Google, of course. I'll also give skip option. Let's just try this and let me know. I hope you're able to see it. The first option is Asian Development Bank. Second is International Monetary Fund. C is the United Nations Environment Program Finance Initiative, and fourth is World Bank. ठीक है? Wow. All right. I'm looking at the poll coming in. We have 10 more seconds. ठीक है. Cool. Is everyone able to see the result? One second. Here you go. Why is it IMF? Even if you didn't know the answer to this, and later we will be discussing why logic can also help you solve questions, even if you don't know the fact. I want you to apply this principle here as well. Now, think of these words, all right? There's the word rapid, there's the word financing, and rapid and credit. Okay? Asian Development Bank and World Bank are international development organizations. They work on development, which means that they work on very long gestation programs, right? Infrastructure, social infrastructure, they'll work on all of that. If you really think of this long, you can sense that urgency wala issue nahi hai. In development banks, they don't look at urgent BOP crises. Who looks at urgent balance of payment crisis? IMF. Now think of rapid financing, rapid credit. Whenever countries face a BOP crisis, IMF comes and helps them out or bails them out. That's the logic you have to apply here. That's the first thing. Second thing is, so here we understood how to apply logic in PYQs. The second takeaway here is, UPSC wants you not to know the facts here specifically. If you know it, great, nothing like it. But if you don't know the fact, what is UPSC really trying to test you here? Let's just talk about that. Can someone just let me know in chat, what do you think UPSC is trying to test here specifically? Because I'm telling you, it's not testing whether you know the fact or not. If anyone wants to take a guess there, you can just type on chat. What UPSC is trying to test here is whether you understand two things or not. Decision making. Okay, yes, that's a very good point. I'll get to that. Yes, Ria, very important. Organizations, important organizations, at least 3 of these are important. इसका शायद कभी नाम सुना होगा, नहीं सुना होगा, that's all right. But हमें इतना पता है कि environment program था. Now organizations में क्या पढ़ना है? उनका nature, their function, like Ria said, mandate, that is important. So nature and function and certain composition, sometimes composition can be asked, structure can be asked. Okay? So that's what you need to know about your important organizations. And trust me, Asian Development Bank, World Bank and IMF are very important organizations for UPSC. That is what UPSC is trying to tell you from their PYQs. Has everyone understood this? Okay, we'll move on to the next example now. And I'm trying to build evidences here. Let's go to invasive species specialist group and let's try the poll again, okay? Let me mark the correct answer here. Okay. I want you to really focus on the words and the keywords. Even if you don't know it, you guys are giving your attempt in 2025. You're very brave for even trying the poll. शब्दों का खेल है इसमें, तो थोड़ा सा focus on the words and try to think of what it's talking about. ठीक है? Let's get to it. I was not able to really see. 1 second. Poll में I think 60% था. Just correct me if I'm wrong, but 60% got it right. So this is important. Let's discuss it. Invasive species specialist group. They've even given you UPSC has actually explained what it means. This is so important. UPSC is giving it to you as a gift. Ki, hey, this is what this means. That is a great point here, okay? That develops global species invasive database. Now, which organization does it belong to? Again, same logic. UNEP, possible. United Nations World Commission for Environment and Development, maybe. Is also talking about environment, we don't know. And the Worldwide Fund for Nature. This is WWF. Now see here, UPSC, so we're trying to understand what is UPSC trying to communicate to us. Okay? It wants you to know that important, now I'm hoping that you all are writing this down. Message number 1 from UPSC to all of us is, hey aspirants, please know that if it's an important organization, I also want you to know the full form of it because I will not give it to you. That's what UPSC is saying. Okay? So WWF is Worldwide Fund for Nature. And that's another way to, well, that's a key that you need to use here. Now you come to IUCN. They're talking about conservation of nature. And we also know that IUCN's mandate, like Ria was talking about earlier, is biodiversity, right? Protecting endangered species. Invasive species very directly has a role in biodiversity. So your best bet here is A. So whoever gave the A answer correct, that is right. But this is the logic. If you don't know about it, what I want you to take away is that this is how you solve it. ठीक है, ये एक बहुत जरूरी मैसेज था. And also in terms of short form. So whenever there's an important organization, you should know what its short form and long form is. And this is how you solve using logic. That's the main takeaway. And of course, like we discussed earlier, कि mandate हम जानने की कोशिश करेंगे. Acha, we did the global, okay. We did 2023 question already. You can also go now in your notes, you can write down, just look at 2022 ka question 41, which is on climate action tracker. Apply the same logic and try to solve it. Okay? Do that. So we will do that. Okay. Now question is, and a lot of you have been asking me this on my, asking this to me on my channel, how do we actually use PYQs? Everyone says use PYQs, study PYQs, but how do we do it? है ना? इसमें थोड़ा सा there's a little bit of lacking guidance in here. Even though a lot of my topper friends are actually talking about this, so that's really good. How do we make the most of PYQs? There are two parts. I use topic-wise analysis, and the second thing I did is I did full-length simulations. So I'm going to show you both approaches, and both have to be done. I will also talk about the timeline on when you have to do it. Topic-wise analysis looks a little like this. There are tools. I'll link them on my channel as well. Now, if you just see here, you have topic-wise questions, PYQs that are organized. Desertification. So there's an entire topic scheme or subtopic on desertification, and the questions that UPSC asked on desertification have been categorized. Then you have environment and agriculture related questions. You have sustainable development related questions, right? So let's say that you are currently studying declaration or agreements pala subtopic in syllabus. You are dealing with agreements and that subtopic. So you will basically go to that subtopic's PYQ. And let me actually show you the process I followed. Let's zoom out, exit. 1 1 second. Let me just open a blank screen so I can show you how the process I followed. 1 second. Okay, this is the blank screen. So what I did is PYQs karne hain. We have to solve our PYQs. Now let's assume that this is the topic wise stage that you have, because most of you will be giving it in 2025. The ones who are giving it in 2024, I will address it just in the next 5 minutes. We will talk about that. Now for topic wise, you will first review the PYQs first. This is what I used to do. Then I will read my topic. So let's say we are dealing with species wala environment ka topic. Okay, we are doing species or biodiversity. So I will study the PYQs first. I'll try to solve them if I can solve them just with my logic. But I won't stress on it. But I'll just see what is UPSC interested in testing. Then I'll read the subtopic, and then I will attempt my PYQs properly, topic wise. I will do them topic wise based on the topic I studied, and then I will basically revise my notes and do note making. But what this does is, why should you read your PYQs first? Is because you will be able to identify clutter. You'll be able to identify clutter. You will have laser focus on what is important for UPSC. And one very important thing, and this is important for anybody who's giving prelims on 16th of June, you will not get scared or overwhelmed by mock tests of external non-UPSC sources. Okay? And why is that? So a lot of you might have heard these problems that my marks in mocks are scaring me, or I'm scoring very low in mock tests. The problem is that some of these mock tests are made difficult just to test you, right? So they are difficult, but often what happens is they may not meet UPSC standards. What will meet UPSC standards is only PYQs. This is the golden source that we have, because this is directly coming from UPSC. So that's why, to overcome this fear of mocks, and to not get stressed if your marks in mocks are low, as soon as you see a difficult question in your mock, you will know it's not UPSC standard, right? So that is my hope for you, that you don't get worried. That is why I'm telling you PYQs we will do. So this is the process I followed. Does anyone have questions on the process I followed for topic wise study of the PYQ questions? Great. We will go back to full length simulations. Now, this is very important for anybody who's giving prelims 24. For full length simulations, what I mean is, and for all the candidates who are giving it in 2025, write it down, because you will have to do this exactly in this month, approximately next year. Yahi karna hoga. Ek saal mein, this is what you'll be doing. You will print your question papers from 2011 to 2023 or 24, depending on when you're giving it. हाँ, Kaushik, I'll address that. ये बहुत जरूरी है. Put it on the doubt section. Discrepancies का करेंगे. Because I know everyone's worried about that. All right. So 2011 say 2023, I printed that out. I think I printed at least 3 to 4 copies because I did those many iterations. Right. So मेरे पास 3 to 4 copies थी. हर साल की. Now when I did that, let me just zoom in and show you what do you need to do in your full length question papers. Firstly, you need to sit down. Now, who all were giving the attempt in 24, I'm forgetting, just say yes here. Write it down as a promise. This is another promise. I want you to sit down. If you're not doing it already, if you're doing it, great. If you're not, 9:30 to 11:30, you will sit down and do your papers in the 2-hour exam condition. Sometimes I would even turn off the fan. I'm not saying it don't cause harm to your body, but some days I would just turn off the fan just to see if it gets too hot, how am I able to manage and stuff like that, just to simulate exam conditions. Of course, don't harm yourself, right? But 9:30 to 11:30, you will sit down and do the papers. Now, why do you do it? I used to maintain a journal. I'll show you more photos of my PYQs journal. But do you see my scribbles here? I've written here that I should have left this question. And I've left it very confidently. So Yash earlier had talked about decision making, which I didn't get the time to address at that time. In your prelims, it's not just a game about knowledge and knowing facts, but it's also about decision making. And that is exactly why UPSC gives difficult questions because it wants to see if you can make decisions as a future public officer under stress. And even skipping this question is an important decision, and there's nothing wrong in it. ठीक है, तो ये मैंने यहाँ पे बोल्ड में लिख दिया है कि लीव एंड लीव इट कॉन्फिडेंटली, right? It was a question on Daya Bhaga and Mitakshara. I still don't know the answer. The next one is, is everyone able to, just one second. Okay, everyone should be able to see this one. Do you see how I've written standard fact here, which means I should have known this, right? This is a very easy question. If you see here, I've said very easy, it's a gift. I should know this. So I used to write these journals and I used to talk to myself. And this is in the post analysis. I have solved it 2 hours. I've really solved the entire question paper. I come back to it and it's almost like a conversation to myself. And it's very meditative. It's like a meditative journal. So I used to write this, that okay, this is an important question. ये gift था UPSC से, ये करना चाहिए, इसको skip नहीं करना है, all of that. तो ये हो गया, decision making के हमने कर लिए. Next is, just one second. Think of any questions you might have. All right. Now, how do we, again, coming to PYQs here, the third way it will help you is to decide your exam day strategy. Especially for students giving 2024, this is important. I hope you're really promising yourself to do this. Exam day strategy, non-UPSC mocks se nahi aayegi. Exam day strategy will come from PYQs and it will come from full-length simulations only. You will sit down for 2 hours and you will understand what your strategy is. So a lot of my friends and aspirants, they ask me that, okay, how many questions should we attempt? I can't tell you that, right? Because you have your own unique strengths, which is what I said right in the beginning. You will have to figure it out. But what I can tell you is how to figure it out. Do you see how I've written here? So I used to solve the exam in 3 rounds, and I can talk about this in detail. I've not planned to talk about it, but ye kar sakte hain baad mein, maybe on my channel. I used to solve it in 3 rounds. Now, do you see I've written here that this question is not for round 2? Why? Because my answer would have not changed between round 1 and round 2. I knew what the answer is going to be. Second, I should not leave it. Third, it is not a standard question, but it can be done by common sense. So I was fairly confident. And most importantly, it didn't take me too long to figure out this question. It was a question on Bolgard and Bolgard 2, which are basically genetically modified crop plants. It didn't take me too long to know this. And basically, I shouldn't leave the question. So that is how, when you journal this, you will build your exam day strategy, right? You can also see glimpses of some other notes that I used to give myself. So here, do you see here? I'm actually talking to myself. I've written silly mistake in bold, right? So when you write this down, you will not make this mistake during the exam. Okay? Next, we will come to, we've discussed this. Okay, not being mains ready before prelims. Now, this is very important for actually both candidates, the ones who are sitting for 2024 and for 25. For 24, it's more because I don't want you to be scared, and we will talk about this in the next 5 minutes, but let's discuss right now for your 2025 attempt. I wasn't mains ready when I gave my first mains in 2017. I wasn't ready before prelims. So what I want you to do is go here, and let's say that January 25 is here. This is the timeline, and you give your pre in 25 in May. From now, we are in May. From now to Jan, you will do integrated preparation, and you will study for your mains, right? In the integrated preparation, this is important. So you have to be mains ready before prelims. If a lot of you are too worried about prelims right now, don't worry about it. Second thing is, I want you to also understand the importance of mains. Okay? We'll look at 2 mark sheets of my friends here. Now, why is mains important? The mains cutoff for my year 23 was 741. Kaushik, I'll discuss this. Ye bhi dal do doubts mein. It's an important question. Actually, I'm going to address it. Ye karte hain question. Written total. So this is Medha. Her written total, I think Medha's rank 13, if I'm not mistaken. Khushali is 61. Now you look at written total marks of 875 of Medha, and you see the cutoff, she's comfortably more than 100 marks, and even Khushali is more than 100 marks above the cutoff, right? And if you see their personality test scores, unfortunately 160 and 160, and I know both of them, and I know that they should have got more. They should have totally got more in personality test. All right. Now, do you see how their mains practically snatched their ranks from a bad personality test score? That's why mains is important. ठीक है, उनको फर्क ही नहीं पड़ा because their mains marks were so good. They've got their ranks, they've got their first top preference of the service. ठीक है, that's why mains is important. All right, again to Kaushik's question and some other questions on this. Mains ready mein, what do I mean by being mains ready before prelims? What I mean by that is you will do integrated studies of prelims and mains both, and you will finish 2 iterations or 2 rounds. You will target finishing 2 rounds of optional ethics and essay at minimum. GS side mein hota rahega because you will be doing prelims as well. So GS hoga, and you can also do some non-prelim topics of mains, that so like disaster management and stuff. But you have to be done with your optional ethics and essay before prelims. So that is important. Okay? So this is another promise that you have to make to yourself, that you will be mains ready before prelims of 2025. Now, for those of you who are here, this is because I don't want my friends here and aspirants who are giving prelims 2024. Guys, is anyone worried? After I said this, is anyone worried about their mains now? Bas yes, no mein bata sakte ho. Just share normally. I'm hoping nobody is worried after hearing this, okay? Why am I saying don't be Omkar? Okay, so Omkar koi baat nahi. I'll tell you one thing here. If you clear prelims this year, you have enough knowledge. I can promise you this, that you have knowledge to write content needed in mains. ठीक है, कुछ तो लिखा होगे, उसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं होगी. प्रॉब्लम वो आती है जब आप आंसर राइटिंग प्रैक्टिस नहीं करते, तो क्या होगा ना. 1 second, there's another announcement coming, so things have paused. 5 things paused. So to Omkar and others who may be worried, who are giving prelims in 2024, you have the knowledge because you would have cleared prelims. Now, when you sit down for mains, what you have to promise yourself is you will do rigorous practice within time limit. This is what you will do between prelims and mains, and I'll talk about what I had done. But between prelims and mains, this is what trust me, there is nothing like main problem is MCQ question. It will get solved with PYQs. Focus on PYQs at your stage. Try to just understand what the PYQ is testing and do that 17th June simulation. Do that. ठीक है, तो वो fear एक बार MCQ का जाएगा. Oh, this is different, Yash. Sorry, Yash. Oh, yeah, there are 2 Yash. Okay. ठीक है. But I think Yash is also giving it in 2025. Now, coming back to when to start answer writing practice. Now, let me just draw the timeline for all of you. We are in May right now. Our friends here will give prelims in June. And then we will come to January 25. And then a lot of us will give prelims again in May. Correct? This is the timeline we're looking at. When do you start answer writing practice? You do answer writing practice when, so I addressed our friends, the ones who will give prelims and sit for mains. I addressed this wala part. I'll do it in detail as well. But students of 2025 attempt, you have to do this. From now to Jan, every time you finish a section of your syllabus, and if you've not printed your syllabus out and stuck it in front of you, do that. And just keep referring to it as and when. When you finish a section of syllabus, let's say women's issues. Okay? But as soon as you finish women's issues, or even before, now actually let me go back here. This flow is the same as the PYQ for prelims that I was talking about. Do you see that we have done this cycle for prelims? The same cycle applies for mains as well. You will review your PYQs. Let's say tomorrow you are going to sit and study GS1 women's issue. Okay? तो हम क्या करेंगे, हम कल PYQs पहले रिव्यू करेंगे एंड देयर आर ग्रेट रिसोर्सेज फॉर टॉपिक वाइज PYQs फॉर दिस एज वेल. आई विल पुट इट ऑन माय चैनल. टॉपिक वाइज PYQs मिल जाएंगे. जस्ट सर्च फॉर women's issues and you will get a list of PYQs on women's wala part. Just read all of it. And what do you have to do when you read it? Try to understand if you are interpreting the question and its demand or not. Okay? Just try to see this. And another thing you can do is there are open sources where people have attempted the question as well. Let me take that back actually. So basically just interpret the demand of the question. That's what you have to do. Then after reviewing, go to your topic. Actually study the topic on women's issue. And then attempt it. Take 5 questions at a time maybe and attempt your PYQ. This is how you'll do your answer writing. Again, you'll do it topic wise. Now what I need to show you is 2 things. So we've discussed the timeline that you will start answer writing, you'll do it topic wise. The next thing is I used a 2-pronged approach here. What were the 2 components of my answer writing practice? The first thing I did is I learned how to write an answer for mains, and it needed practice. I had to build my own style. I had to see. So there are 3 things to learning how to write your answers. You will understand the style that is needed for mains of UPSC. You will see toppers' copies and you will see how they did it, right? What is different about the way they answer their copies, the way they answer the questions? Is there anything you can borrow from them, like content, diagrams, style, right? So this was the first part that I did. And the second that I mentioned for our prelims candidates for 2024 is you will then do rigorous practice within time limit. I'll talk about this component later. Let's talk about the learning how to write answers. So this is how I did my answer writing practice. Now this is the topic wise answers I used to write. The main thing I want to tell you here is that this was untimed. This is very important. Then I was building my style and trying to understand what a good answer is all about. I used to do it untimed. Then what I did is, after I got confidence on that topic, I would do it with timed. Okay? Now, if you see this, you will see certain components. I learned that diagrams help, so I learned how to make diagrams. How many of you are finding this diagram a little overwhelming? How many of you are worried that you won't be able to draw this? That you won't be able to draw itna jaldi a map and all of this. Yeah, I used to worry about this too. I used to worry about how will I draw the world map so fast. I didn't know how toppers did it. So it is scary, but I promise you with practice it will happen. It will need less than a month of practice and you'll be able to do this. It's scary at first, but it will get better. Then this style, okay? This style of knowing that I have to use keywords to make the subheading of my answer. And I will pick up the subheading from the question itself. So do you see here? Major threat. Marine debris is a major threat to marine and coastal biodiversity. So we're talking about marine debris. And we're talking about how it is a major threat to what? To biodiversity. Marine and coastal both. And I picked these keywords and I included that verbatim. Subheading bana diya. What this does is it tells your examiner that you have understood the demand of the question and that I am answering it here, right? So the examiner doesn't have to search for it. So that is that's a style I learned. It is helpful, so I would encourage you to incorporate that as well. And then underlining was another style. Conclusion kaise karna hai, all of this. So this is one example. Second example I want to show you is another one. Let's talk about this one also. It's interesting. The question is also interesting. The question was on, I forgot to put the question here, but the question was on, yes. So it was on disaster risk reduction, how ecosystems can help DRR, how ecosystems help you reduce the risk of disasters. That's the question in general. And if you see this, what I've done is quickly using a diagram, I have drawn a flow to tell the examiner that I'm going to answer your question in 3 parts. Thank you, Yash. Okay, so I'm going to answer this question in 3 parts. And what will the part be? First is buffer. So how do ecosystems buffer disasters? How do ecosystems prevent disasters? And how do ecosystems reduce or mitigate the impact of disasters? So I told my examiner that I've understood the question. I'm going to answer it in 3 parts. So I've divided it this way. Now, just in 2-3 seconds, he's understood that, okay, she's going to cover all these subtopics. And then good example, whatever they call it, this is here. So this is what I wanted to tell you in terms of diagrams. I have more examples in this also. They told me to add example of Odisha coast. So this was a good advice. They also said no need to elaborate about. So with feedback, now this is another thing of feedback. I wanted this feedback and I wanted to show this to you because a lot of topper copies that will come on platforms, they may not have feedback. This feedback is very, very important. Whenever you write your answer, ensure you have some format, some source for feedback, and it's a legitimate good source of feedback. Make sure you have that, because in 2017 I didn't run behind feedback and that was a mistake. ठीक है, तो ये feedback बहुत जरूरी है. Negative eye, positive eye, we will just take it and we will work on it. This diagram, for example. So that is basically what I wanted to tell you, show you in this sample. This is for anybody who's giving prelims this year, or even for 2025 attempters. God forbid you have to give another attempt in 2026. This is a lesson from there, okay? I'll take 2 steps back to give you some context. In 2022, I studied seriously, but I started late because I was working in COVID-19 relief, but I started a little late. I gave my prelims 2022 and I worked hard. I remember I worked really hard, but I had a feeling that I'm on the margin and I might fail prelims again. What I did is, so can you, let me just extend the class. Class time. Okay. What I did is, when I came home and everyone was telling me that please calculate marks and tell us the marks, right? You'll get a lot of pressure either from friends or relatives to tally your marks. What I did, and I don't know if this was a fool strategy or not, but it worked very well for me. I came back and I did not tally my marks. Okay. Why? Because this was my 5th attempt. In 2022 was my 5th attempt. I knew that 2023 will be my last attempt. It will be my myself. And I told myself that you are giving mains 2022. Okay? I told myself that I'm giving mains 2022 and I started answering. I think I took 1 or 2 days break. I spent time with family. But I started doing answer writing immediately, pretending that I'm going to write mains in 2022. And these samples are from that answer writing. I don't know if I included the date. I actually wanted to include the date. These answers are from August, roughly, from June, July, August of 2022. These answers are from them. Now imagine if I hadn't done this. If I hadn't done this, there was a very high chance I would have not even cleared 2023. Why? Because again, you have to be mains ready before prelims. So it might be helpful for some of you to just believe that you're writing mains and get to it. God forbid it doesn't work out. At least you will have that head start for 2025 or for 2026. Is this clear to everybody on how I fooled myself and how it's a trick that you can try? I hope किसी को नौबत नहीं आती है इस चीज को करने के लिए. But yeah, now coming to, okay, so this is what I want to show you. Actually, this is important now. So the earlier ones were slightly under less pressure and less time pressure. This one is a full-length simulation that I did between prelims and mains. So this is 2023, last year, between prelims and mains. These are full-length simulations that I did in 3 hours. And I was in a very good program where we used to work with a mentor and with peers, basically. So we would do a free, and it was a free program where I would write every single day for at least 2 hours or maybe 3 hours. Now, just let me highlight this actually better. So you can see the change. When you write under time pressure, the quality of our handwriting will go down. And I used to feel very disappointed because I used to think that when it is untimed, I can write very perfect answers and they look beautiful. And I really tried to attempt that. There are a lot of toppers who can write beautiful handwriting even under time pressure. Somehow I couldn't. So I wasn't too happy with my handwriting, but I want to assure you of this as well, that it's okay. Your handwriting doesn't have to be artistic. है ना, हमें art नहीं करनी है उस पे जिसका pressure. I used to take a lot of pressure of making my answers beautiful, but I want to tell you that it's okay as long as your examiner is able to understand what you've written. That's enough. बस ये हो कि पढ़ने में आना चाहिए, है ना. अब इसमें also some lessons I can show you is this question was on discuss the role played by foreigners who made India their homeland and various movements in various movements during the freedom struggle. So I just want you to take 2 or 3 seconds, read the question. I'll read it again. Discuss the role played by foreigners who made India their homeland, right? So not all foreigners, but foreigners who have made India their homeland. That is the caveat here. So the examiner wants to test if you've paid attention. In various movements during freedom struggle. So what I did is in my intro, I just used a nice keyword. I said that foreigners played a force multiplier role in India's freedom struggle. And how did they do it? They did it in 3 ways. The first was they brought techniques of resistance from their countries. So Home Rule League, for example. And I actually, this is another mistake I did here. I just noticed. यहाँ पे ना example डाल देना चाहिए. Home Rule League लिख दो, बहुत अच्छा लगेगा, समझ आएगा कि हाँ किसकी बात हो रही है. आयरलैंड से आया था, है ना. तो ये यहाँ पर bring techniques of resistance from the country. The second thing was they advocated for India's cause at the global platform. So here also give an example. And then here the third one was bring funds and resources for the struggle. Okay, so they raised funds and resources. They went abroad and in their own home countries, they raised funds and resources for our struggle. So I've given these 3-pronged roles. Now imagine what happens to the examiner when he reads this, right? He's understood that, okay, she's going to touch on all these dimensions. She'll give examples. हो जाएगा उसको, मतलब, and it's a nice way to present. The second example I want to give here is, actually, I think I can zoom more. 1 second. Okay. So this is from ethics. The question says persuasion and coercion both have their utility in shaping attitude depending on 3 things. What are the 3 things? Depending on necessity. So I'm going to read it a little slowly, try to process the question and the demand of the question. The first thing it's saying is persuasion and coercion. We know that these are 2 different things, right? Persuasion is very different from coercion, which is more applied force, and persuasion is more soft, convincing ability. The examiner is telling you that persuasion and coercion both have their utility in shaping attitude, depending upon 3 things: necessity, urgency, and context, right? So it's saying कि दोनों का utility है, but the utility depends on necessity, urgency, and context. Now imagine, this is not I would say it's a medium difficulty question in terms of interpretation, because you have to truly convey your understanding of each and every layer in the question. There are many layers to it. So how did I do it? And this is a style I built right now, like between, so at this stage, this is when I was talking about how to learn how to write answer writing. This is the style I built. When I'm imagining what the flow of my answer will be, sometimes I would draw out the flow, because I'm a visual person. You can see me scribbling. I would draw out the flow that's running in my brain, and I would just put it on paper. And what that would do is it would give me a ready-made diagram. So I would leave some space open. You can try if this works for you. It may or may not. But I would leave introduction space on top. And you can see this line that I've drawn. So I used to draw this line to give myself space. Start the box here. And so utility of persuasion versus coercion. And what I would write is necessity, urgency, and context. And then I would say this. I would say, if the necessity is lower, then you can use persuasion. If necessity is higher, you can use coercion. If urgency is lower, then change can be gradual. So you can do persuasion because you don't have that, it's not urgent. So you can use persuasion. But if something is very urgent, then you need coercion, right? Here, in fact, later, I had given the example of COVID, right? We had to use both, in fact. We had to use persuasion and coercion both for COVID-19 relief. Now, context. for democratic leadership and context. So it was asking, okay, context also matters whether you use persuasion or coercion. Now, in democratic leadership, you know persuasion works better. In autocratic leadership, they rely on coercion, right? So imagine this diagram again. The examiners understood. They're very happy to see this flow. You've communicated what you're thinking in your mind, and then I would answer in text. Same thing I've done here. I will try to share these samples on my channel in the interest of time. I don't want to discuss each and every point, but here you can see the same thing, right? This was a very, very interesting question. Accountability पे था ये, बहुत बढ़िया question था ये. I think it was a PYQ. So how did I address it here? I'll probably put the screenshot of this on my channel. Okay, so this example is done. Again, another example with diagram. What is the time? How much time? Okay, 7. So I'll put these diagrams on my channel. Okay. We discussed this. Oh, Omkar, yeah, and others who are giving prelims 2024 and they may be worried. I told you that you will have knowledge. If you clear prelims, don't worry about knowledge. You might just have to add and read about 2 things. You might have to read about topics that were not in prelims, like disaster management. There's a list, you will find it anywhere. And you will have to also build or enrich your content slightly. You'll have to remember certain data points that you can add and case studies. There's an entire strategy video that I've done on, and you can note this down. I've done a strategy video on data and examples and how to use them in your answers for content enrichment. Okay? So between prelims and mains, Omkar, this is, and everyone else who is also appearing for prelims 2024, don't worry. You'll have to work on these 2 things. But at the same time, don't carry this fear and worry at all for prelims. When you walk into that prelims exam hall, I want you to tell yourself that you deserve to be there. And you've studied hard and you will ace it. Prelims ke din, ya abhi se. For the next 30 days, we will only focus on prelims and not worry about mains. Okay? You will do full length simulations and you will have, this is what I was saying. You will have faith for prelims 2024 and you will sit down and not worry about mains right now. We will get to that bridge when we cross it. Okay. Not applying common sense logical estimations. I had discussed this. Let's just go do examples. Some examples karte hain isme. We'll do a poll here. Okay? This is your question. And let's do a poll. This is the easier question here. Isko karte hain. Let me just enter the correct. And here you go. Okay. Which of the following makes a tool with a stick to scrape insects from a hole in a tree or a log of wood? Okay, poll. Sorry, I didn't notice. Okay, so 44% were right. The main logic here is that for anyone to use a tool, who do we know uses tools the best? Humans. And one of the reasons we can use a tool is actually because of opposable thumbs. But if you just think of thumbs as well. Now, if you think of orangutan, logically, they come closest to humans, and that was the main logic here. In using logic and your life's knowledge here, and not worrying about factoids, like I don't want you to worry about, oh, fishing cat kar paati ya nahi. Orangutan was really screaming out to you over here. अब इसमें क्या है, एक चीज बहुत जरूरी होती है, वो faith होता है, faith and confidence, and not having self-doubt. So in your prelims attempt, whether it's in 24 or 2025, there'll be a lot of questions you will be able to do with logic and common sense and the life that you've experienced all around yourself. To apply it will need you to overcome your self-doubt. And that is why mental health is important. We'll talk about that later. That is why mindset is important. ठीक है? अब ये करते हैं next वाला, इसको भी कोशिश करते हैं. This is slightly difficult, but you can try it. Go with it from a very blank slate. Don't assume it's difficult. इसको कोशिश करते हैं. ठीक है? Correct answer मैं mark कर दूँ एक बार, 1 minute. What is the question? 1 second. करेक्टली मेंशन ना, हाँ ठीक है इसका आंसर. So you have to talk about correctly mention and writing the correct one. ठीक है. All right. This is not an easy poll. Don't worry about it. I want you to be brave and just attempt it. Tension मत लेना. I think this was 22% of us. All right. So these two are directly from news. This is very important news when you will be Ashvika, avoiding burnout, mental health. Very important. Put it on the doubts section. I'll just address it. ठीक है? ये लिख देना doubts में, we'll address it. So these two were from news, and any hardworking aspirant would have known these. So इसमें दिक्कत नहीं है. Nagorno-Karabakh and Kherson. This is Ukraine, and this is Armenian Azerbaijan. ये ऐसे है. अब ये वाला part, ठीक है? Now imagine in the exam, I want you to imagine this scenario. I want you to imagine that you know that these two are wrong, ठीक है? But we are stuck here. We are not able to decide this, and because this is a 2023 format, we don't even have the help of options. Now, what logic do you use here? You use this logic that अगर आप you tap into your sense of language across the world, and you try to think, and I want you guys to answer here actually. Think of North Kivu and Ituri. Now let me pose you this question. ये जो नाम है, where do you think they belong in terms of region across the world? ये कहाँ के, there's a buzz to that sound. Ituri, North Kivu, ये कहाँ के हो सकते हैं? Can someone think now? Just start typing and let me know what you think. Just guess any region in the world. Let me just turn the light on 1 second. Until then, just start sending your entries. Which region of the world do you think this language or the name sounds like? Okay, like अगर आपको कोई बोलेगा कि उदयपुर, तो आपको, if you're a foreigner also, and you're an aware foreigner, you will know it's an Indian sounding name. You have to apply that logic. ठीक है, did we get any entries? Okay, Dinesh, you said Japan. Yash, you think it's from Europe. Now tell me this, okay? इसमें respond करना, मुझे बताओ कि if I tell you that I thought when I was attempting this, I thought or I was very confident that this sounds like African names. Does that sound convincing to you? Can you think of some places जहाँ पे names may be sounding a little like North Kivu or Ituri? तो मेरे लिए this worked, the language and being able to tap into that. ठीक है, तो I was slightly confident on it, and yeah, so that is how I solved this question. Let's go back to the next one. Yeah, this one is about faith, and Ashlika also had a question on this. Let's solve this question. 1 second. Poll karte hain. Let me just put the answer, and I'll just reduce the time. So, okay, फटाफट करते हैं. ये question थोड़ा easy है. ठीक है. Oh wow, 100% of us got it. Very good, very good. The thing here is, it is easy, and you are right in knowing or thinking that all three are correct. What happens is, sometimes, and the reason I put this example was important, sometimes in the exam, what will happen is you will actually question yourself कि यार UPSC इतना easy question क्यों बनाता? Has anyone ever thought of, कभी ये ख्याल आया है कि क्यों इतना easy question बनाया UPSC ने? शायद I am the one who's wrong, है ना? You must be thinking, अरे मैं ही गलत होऊंगा या होंगी क्योंकि UPSC इतना easy question क्यों पूछेगा? This is about faith, and it's about not overthinking, right? Have faith that you can also solve questions. It's okay. This is the one note I wanted to tell you. Same question as Akash. Timeline for CSE. What to ensure clear? हाँ, okay. Let's discuss timeline also. Timeline मैंने किया. एक बार summarize कर लेंगे timeline at the end. Just remind me about it. या doubts में डाल दो. We'll discuss it because I gave you a rough timeline. Like right now, You have to integrate your preparation for 2025. You will integrate it right now. You will study. So you will look at let's assume you're studying women's issues tomorrow. You will look at the prelims PYQs and you will look at the mains PYQs. Then you will study the topic and then you will attempt those questions. That is basically the timeline that has to go on. Before January, do you want me to visualize this? Okay, so before January, you have to finish your optional, your ethics. In fact, early January if possible. If this is your first attempt in 2025, and I know it is, you will start prelims exclusive preparation by Jan. If it's not your first attempt, you can stretch it to, you can stretch midweek Jan, maybe late Jan, but not later than that. Okay? So, yeah, so till Jan, you have to finish optional, ethics, and essay. Ideally, you should do 2 rounds of revision, or basically 1 round of reading and another round of revision. That is the timeline. Okay? And Jan ke baad, you will skip to prelims exclusive preparation, which will also focus on CSAT. Next, we will come to changing the strategy last minute. This is also important for 2025, but also important for friends who are giving it on 2020, 2024 prelims. Agar aap de rahe ho, don't change your strategy last minute. What I had done is in 2022, I don't know if you know this, you're probably young for it. In 2022, they gave us around 10 to 15, I think 10 to 12 questions that had the new format. Right? So this was difficult. It shocked us a lot. It was shocking even at that time. 2023 was another level of shock that majority of the paper was the new format, but 2022 was shocking. But because it was that shocking, I changed my strategy last minute. Okay? My PYQ simulations had told me, and I will show you this. Let me just see if I have it here. 1 second. How many questions to attempt? This is an actual example of my PYQ simulation and my data. I knew from practice that my accuracy is not less than 80%. Okay, it has been over 80%. So I knew that if I can basically attempt 75 to 85, and I will be comfortably well above the cutoff trends that were going on. Okay? This would shift based on the difficulty of the exam. But I had told myself that to 75 to 85 great hai, itna karna hai. But what I did in 2022 is just because the paper was difficult, I attempted lesser questions. And it's okay. This is a decision you might need to take at that time. But I made a very drastic difference. I think I attempted only 68 questions. And that was the mistake. I got so scared. I got so scared of the shock that was there that I changed my strategy last minute. I attempted very few questions. I attempted only 68 and वो नहीं clear हुआ फिर. In fact, 68 में भी फिर भी 2 to 5. I'll go back to my mark sheets, but I was very close to the cutoff. ठीक है, तो don't change your strategy last minute. Stick to your strategy. You have in the next 30 days, build your strategy. These are the 3 things you will do in the next 30 days. Build your strategy. How? Through PYQ simulations. Second thing you will do is, might sound funny to you, but it is very important. You will meditate. Why? So that when the exam happens and there will be a shock, you will be able to apply the strategy that you have built yourself and you will not change it. Okay? Can I get a yes for this? It is a very important promise to yourself. All right. Great. Neglecting your mental health. I ignored mental health. I'll be quick in this, but it's important. I thought mental health was a waste of time. I used to sleep 5 to 6 hours a day. I would not meditate. Most of my attempts, I basically thought that mental health is a waste of time. The problem with that is, and I want you to write this down, when you are awake, you are absorbing your information and data and everything you have to study. You are informing content when you are awake, right? You are only absorbing it. It is only in your sleep that you do something very important for the exam. You make memories. Okay? It is in your sleep that your neurons are wiring and firing, and you consolidate in your sleep. So imagine if anyone out here is thinking that मैं सिर्फ 5 घंटे सोऊंगा and I will study 1 or 2 hours more. Imagine that you are studying, but आपका consolidation ही नहीं हुआ है because you're not getting quality sleep. This is something that affected me. I don't want this to affect you. And that is why by my 5th and 6th attempt, it was very late, but I realized that mental health is not something abstract. It's not something just fashionable that people talk about. It is a very strategic tool, and it will ensure that you can either 2x to 5x your performance. Okay? So, is this understandable? We will not compromise our mental health. I am very on my channel. I'm actually really looking forward to. There's a video I've done on sleep as well. You can look at that. How to get quality sleep and why you should get quality sleep. I've addressed that on my video. You can look at that. But I'm trying to. The next one I really want to do is. I want to really work on one thing for anyone who's giving 2024 prelims. Let me actually put it here. I will talk about mindset that you need to build for 2024. On 16th of June, how you should have the winning mindset, we'll talk about that. I'll share the tools that worked for me. Okay? These are some of the tools in general. Let's cover this fast so I can get to your doubts. We spoke of sleep. For this, you could look at my channel on YouTube. How to sleep better. I've covered this in very good detail. Journaling. What I will do is before 16th of June. In fact, I just have to find my own journal. I'm not able to find it, but as soon as I find it, I will share screenshots on things on positive talk that I want you to do to yourself. Okay? Why is journaling important? Somebody asked about consistency and discipline in preparation. Let's assume that tomorrow you have to start your day and you want to do 6 to 8 hours of studies. Okay? What you will do is one night before, today in the night, you will make your timetable and you will slot it. I wish I could share my planners actually. I won't be able to do it right now, but karte hain. I would have slots 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. I will study this. ठीक है? ये काम मैं एक रात पहले ही कर लेती थी. Why? Because when I wake up, I don't want the mental burden of planning. And if things are not planned the night before, what will happen is things will get very chaotic. And I will probably not even start on time. That is why journaling is important. The other reason why journaling is important is because let's assume you had your targets and for some reason you had a bad day where you... One second, where is my pointer? Okay. For some reason on that particular day you could not do that many hours of study. सिर्फ 3 घंटे पढ़ाई हुई, कोई बात नहीं. प्रॉब्लम ये होता है ना, हम 3 घंटे का इतना टेंशन ले लेते हैं कि अरे कम पढ़ाई की कि अगले दिन भी ये कैरी हो जाता है. एंड देन यू जस्ट स्पेंड टाइम जस्ट feeling bad about yourself and blaming yourself and feeling guilty. Guilt is going to be a great enemy here in your preparation. Okay? So we have to fight this. What we can use is discipline and motivation. And for that, when you journal in the night, talk about the things you are proud of in the day. Even if it was 3 hours, tell yourself what you are proud of, your achievements of the day. And then write down your target for tomorrow. And then write a promise that yes, I will meet it tomorrow. It's okay. I had one bad day. Tomorrow I will bounce back. ठीक है? तो ये करना है in journaling. I would say start it. शुरू में you might feel like अरे boring है, but over time you will actually love talking to yourself. It will be nice. So try journaling. Addressing self-doubt is important. With self-doubt, the problem is this is a battle against yourself. Right? There's no enemy here. Self-doubt mein, it is the ghosts and the demons who tell you that you are not working, that you are not good enough, right? That you're wasting your years, that your friends are doing much better than you, that they're earning more money. है ना? ये सब. We have to fight this. We have to fight it actively. Journaling helped me. Meditation helped me. There's also detachment. Detachment from what? From outcomes. This really helped me. And for that, actually, credit goes to my family. They told me that they don't care about my result. And they would say it every time I would spiral. right? So you have to tell yourself this, that whatever outcome happens, it is not a judge of your inherent value and your inherent worth. You are enough in just being brave in even attempting the UPSC exam, right? For the service of the nation. So detachment के बारे में बात करेंगे. We have paucity of time, so we will discuss this in detail. And especially the thing with self-doubt is it is important on the day of the paper. On the day of the paper, I actually want to give you an example here. During CSAT, actually let's discuss this. CSAT के time पे क्या हुआ था? I enjoy maths. ठीक है? I feel like it's a strong subject of mine. But CSAT came much, the quant and logic part, quant mostly, was much more difficult than PYQs. You must have heard of all of that chaos that was happening at that time. Sorry, it's not the eraser, 1 second. So quant was difficult, and what happened at that time is I started with quant because that is my strength. So in you will start with your strength. I started with quant. Now imagine difficult question after difficult question. I had to tell myself that don't worry, reading comprehension will watch your back and you'll be fine. I had to tell myself that don't worry, this is difficult for your competition as well. This is where addressing self-doubt and being able to talk to yourself in a supportive manner, in a kind manner works. And that's why I go back to your first slide where I said that you are your greatest ally, you have to be kind to yourself. Okay? So exam day ke liye, this is not just fashionable talk, or it's not just abstract talk, but it is strategic talk. It is strategy on how you will perform better on exam day, and that's what matters. We have to clear the cutoff.
बताना चाहता हूँ कि अनअकैडमी ने अपनी प्राइसेस बहुत ज़्यादा रिड्यूस कर दी हैं. दोस्तों अनअकैडमी का 15 मंथ यूपीएससी सीएससी सब्सक्रिप्शन अब मात्र 29,999 रुपए में अवेलेबल है, विच नॉट ओनली कवर्स प्रीलिम्स बट ऑल्सो हेल्प्स यू प्रिपेयर फॉर द मेंस एग्जामिनेशन. इसमें आपको मिलेगा अनलिमिटेड एक्सेस टू बैचेस, कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव स्टडी मटीरियल, 1-on-1 मेंटरशिप और प्री और मेंस की टेस्ट सीरीज भी. तो दोस्तों देर मत करिए, बिकॉज दिस इज द लोएस्ट प्राइसिंग यू विल गेट फॉर सच अ प्रीमियम कोर्स. इस कोर्स को सब्सक्राइब करने के लिंक्स डिस्क्रिप्शन में है, तो अभी जाइए और सब्सक्राइब करिए.